We live in an age where our homes watch us. Cameras in every corner. Microphones in every room. We invite these digital eyes inside because they promise safety, security, peace of mind. But what happens when those eyes start seeing things they shouldn't? What happens when your smart home becomes smarter than you and starts showing you secrets that were meant to stay buried? Derek and Megan Palmer thought technology would protect them. Instead, it revealed something hiding in their walls. Something that had been waiting for years. If you're watching this alone, you might want to check your security app. Make sure all your cameras are showing rooms you recognize. Because after you hear this story, you'll never look at that little blinking red light the same way again. This is the story of the 13th camera. Derek and Megan Palmer had been searching for their forever home for 3 years. 3 years of outbid offers, heartbreaking rejections, and cramped apartment living in downtown Minneapolis. They were both 32, both exhausted, both ready to give up on the American dream of homeownership. Then their realtor called about 47 Willow Creek Drive. "It just hit the market," she said, her voice strangely hesitant. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, finished basement, half-acre lot. And the price is, well, you need to see it for yourselves. The price was $200,000 below market value. "What's the catch?" Derek asked as they pulled into the driveway for the first time. The house was beautiful, a 2-story colonial with cream-colored siding and black shutters. A wraparound porch. A 2-car garage. The kind of house they'd scrolled past on real estate apps, never daring to click because they knew it was out of reach. The realtor shifted uncomfortably. The previous owners left suddenly. There were some rumors in the neighborhood. Nothing substantiated. "The house has been empty for 2 years. "What kind of rumors?" Megan asked. The realtor smiled tightly. "Small-town gossip. You know how it is. The important thing is the foundation is solid, the roof is new, and the inspection came back clean." They bought the house within a week. Moving day was chaos. Boxes everywhere, furniture in wrong rooms, pizza eaten standing over the kitchen sink. But by nightfall, Derek and Megan stood on their new porch, holding hands, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. "We did it," Megan whispered. "We actually did it." Derek kissed her forehead. "First thing tomorrow, I'm installing the security system. The full package. Cameras, sensors, smart locks. This place is going to be the safest house in Minnesota." The system was called Home Shield Pro, top-rated, AI-powered, capable of recognizing faces, detecting unusual sounds and sending instant alerts to your phone. Derek spent the entire weekend installing 12 cameras, 2 outside facing the driveway and backyard, 1 in the garage, 1 in the basement, and the rest covering the main living areas and hallways. On Monday night he downloaded the app and synced all 12 feeds to his phone. "Perfect," he said, scrolling through each camera. "Crystal clear. We can see everything." But he was wrong. The first anomaly appeared 3 days later. Megan was at work and Derek was in his home office on a video call when his phone buzzed. A notification from Home Shield Pro, "Motion detected, camera 13. Derek frowned. He tapped the notification, expecting an error message. Instead, the app opened to a camera feed he'd never seen before. In the list of cameras beneath basement and back hallway was a new entry. It was labeled Nursery. The feed showed a small, dark room. The image was grainy, washed in a greenish night vision glow. Derek could make out peeling wallpaper with a faded floral pattern. A wooden rocking chair in the corner. And in the center of the room, an antique crib with white lace curtains. They didn't have a nursery. They didn't have children. Derek's first thought was that the app had glitched, maybe picking up a neighbor's camera signal or displaying some kind of demo footage. He closed the app, reopened it, and scrolled through the camera list. 12 cameras. No nursery. He almost convinced himself he'd imagined it. That night, Derek was jolted awake at exactly 2:17 a.m. His phone was buzzing on the nightstand, the screen casting harsh light across the ceiling. Motion detected, camera 13. He grabbed the phone, his heart hammering. The notification was there, real and undeniable. He tapped it and the nursery feed filled the screen. This time the rocking chair wasn't empty. A woman sat in it, her back to the camera. She wore a dirty white nightgown, her dark hair hanging in tangled clumps. She was rocking slowly, steadily, the chair creaking with each movement. Derek's mouth went dry. He wanted to look away, to delete the app, to throw his phone across the room. But he couldn't move. He watched, frozen, as the woman stopped rocking. Slowly, mechanically, she turned her head. Her face was pale and hollow, her eyes sunken into dark sockets. She stared directly at the camera, directly at Derek, and her cracked lips moved, forming words he couldn't hear. The feed cut to static. When it returned, the room was empty. Derek didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning he told Megan about the camera feed. She listened, her face cycling through confusion, concern, and finally skepticism. "Show me," she said. Derek opened the app. 12 cameras. No nursery. "It was there," he insisted. "I saw it. I saw a woman." Megan put her hand on his arm. "Baby, we've been stressed. New house, new mortgage, you've been working crazy hours. Maybe it was a dream." Derek wanted to believe her. But that night at 2:17 a.m., his phone buzzed again. Motion detected, camera 13. This time the woman was standing. She was closer to the camera, close enough that Derek could see the stains on her nightgown, dark rusty stains that looked like dried blood. Her hollow eyes bored into the lens, and her lips moved again, forming the same words over and over. Derek grabbed his laptop and searched for lip-reading tutorials. He watched the recorded footage frame by frame, studying her mouth, trying to decipher the message. Finally he understood. "You're living in our walls." Derek didn't tell Megan. He didn't tell anyone. Instead, he waited until she left for work, and then he went to the basement with a flashlight and a hammer. The basement was unfinished, with concrete floors and exposed wooden beams. The previous owners had used it for storage, and a few abandoned boxes still sat in the corners. Derek walked the perimeter, knocking on walls, listening for hollow spaces. He found it behind the water heater. The wall sounded different, empty, resonant. Derek ran his hand along the surface and felt a seam hidden beneath a layer of dust and grime. Someone had sealed this section off, and they'd done it in a hurry. Derek raised the hammer and swung. The drywall crumbled easily, revealing a dark cavity behind. The smell hit him immediately, stale air and something else, something sour and organic that made his stomach clench. He shone his flashlight into the darkness. The beam illuminated a small room, maybe 8 feet by 10. Peeling wallpaper with a faded floral pattern. A wooden rocking chair. An antique crib with white lace curtains. He'd found the nursery. Derek climbed through the hole, glass and debris crunching beneath his feet. The room was exactly as it had appeared on the camera feed, down to the smallest detail. But it was impossible. He'd installed the cameras himself. There was no camera in this room. Then he saw the corner. A body lay curled in the fetal position, partially hidden behind the crib. It had been there for years, maybe decades. The flesh had long since desiccated, leaving behind a skeleton wrapped in leathery skin and the tattered remains of a white nightgown. Beside the body was a journal. Derek picked it up with trembling hands. The pages were brittle, the ink faded, but still legible. March 15th. He sealed the door today. Said I was too sick to be around the baby. Said I needed to rest. But there is no baby anymore. She died 3 weeks ago. He knows that. Why won't he let me out? March 22nd. I can hear them upstairs. Walking, talking, pretending I don't exist. I scream but no one comes. The walls are so thick. April 3rd. So hungry. So thirsty. I tried to claw through the wall but my fingers are bleeding. Why won't anyone help me? The final entry was barely legible, the handwriting shaky and weak. He'll bring someone else here. He always does. If you're reading this, you're already trapped. The house remembers. The house shows. Get out before it's too late. Derek scrambled out of the room, his heart pounding, his mind racing. He needed to call the police. He needed to get Megan. He needed to get out of this house. But when he turned around, he saw something that made his blood freeze. The wall was whole again. The hole he'd made was gone. The drywall was smooth and unbroken, as if he'd never touched it. He ran his hands along the surface, searching for the seam, but there was nothing. Just solid wall. His phone buzzed. Motion detected, camera 13. Derek looked at the screen. The nursery feed was active, showing the same dark room he'd just escaped. The woman was there, sitting in the rocking chair, rocking slowly, steadily. But now there was a second figure beside her. It was a man. He stood behind the rocking chair, his hand resting on the woman's shoulder. His face was obscured by shadow, but Derek could see that he was smiling. The woman's lips moved, forming words Derek could now understand without any tutorial. He's coming for you next. The basement lights went out. In the darkness, Derek heard footsteps on the stairs. Slow, deliberate, confident. The footsteps of someone who had all the time in the world. You found her, a voice said from the shadows. It was a man's voice, calm and pleasant, like a realtor showing a property. They always find her eventually. The house makes sure of it. Derek fumbled for his phone's flashlight, but the battery was dead. The screen showed one final notification before going black. Camera 13, recording complete. The footsteps stopped directly behind him. "Welcome home, Derek," the voice whispered. "You're going to love it here. Everyone does. Eventually." Megan Palmer reported her husband missing 3 days later. Police searched the house from top to bottom but found nothing unusual. No hidden rooms. No bodies. No evidence of foul play. The house sat empty for 6 months before it was listed again. The price was suspiciously low. $200,000 below market value. A young couple from Chicago saw the listing and scheduled a tour. They were both 32, both exhausted from apartment living, both ready to find their forever home. The realtor smiled as she opened the front door. "You're going to love it here," she said. "It's perfect for a growing family. Plenty of room." And the previous owners just installed a brand new security system. The 13th camera is still watching. The nursery is still waiting. And somewhere behind the walls of 47 Willow Creek Drive, the woman in the nightgown is still rocking, still mouthing her warning to anyone smart enough to look. "You're living in our walls. How well do you know your home? Have you checked every room, every closet, every corner? Have you looked for seams in the walls, listened for hollow spaces, wondered why that one spot always feels colder than the rest? Maybe you should open your security app tonight. Scroll through your cameras. Count them carefully. And if you find one that wasn't there before, if you see a room you don't recognize, don't investigate. Just run." If this story made you want to check your security cameras, if it made you look twice at your basement walls, then we did our job. These stories live because of you, the ones brave enough to listen, to share, to come back for more. If you enjoyed this journey into the darkness, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Drop a like if you felt that chill down your spine, and share this video with someone who needs a good scare tonight. The shadows have more secrets to tell. Will you be here to listen? Until next time, check your cameras. Count your rooms. And remember, not every home wants you to leave.